Welcome back, everybody, to the Houma Teambuilder Dynasty on College Football 25. We are in Year 5, Week 5 in 2028, and we're coming off a really solid win against the Navy Midshipmen. Coming off a loss prior to that, we enter this game against Georgia State 2-1, and it's our first game in Sun Belt Conference play on the year when we won this conference a year ago. We have been a pretty one-dimensional team so far in these first 3 weeks, and with the passing game, we have seen more turnovers and less touchdowns than we had at this point a year ago. And I'm hoping that these adjustments to our playbook that I made between last week and this week can really give us a way better run game. We've seen Newcomb only average 2.2 yards per carry through our first 3 games, 33 yards per game. This has to improve. We have to be a dynamic offense if we're going to win this conference for a back-to-back season. In terms of receiving, though, we've seen Cal Harper break out this year in his true freshman season. 4 touchdowns, the most of any player on this team, and he has more than the rest of our team combined. Plus, he has the most yards receiving as well. I did also adjust our passing plays a little bit, not too many tweaks to that, because I think it's at a pretty good spot, but we got to finish these drives. We've taken too many field goals, and we've had too many turnovers, I think, especially against good opponents like the Oregon Ducks. And although our conference is not going to have any, top 25 ranked teams for the most part, we're going to play those teams more often in these next couple years, and especially if we can make a run for the college football playoff, we have to get rid of those kinds of plays. My game plan with our current playbook for Year 5 was to incorporate some more runs, especially on first down. So you'll see plenty of wide formation handoffs, a couple of halfback draws, because those plays seem to work the best for us. We still will have a couple of outside handoffs, but these will mostly be in either shotgun or in I formation, no longer, too many pistol runs. And we're mostly going to be running away from where we have most of our wide receivers lined up. We'll occasionally run to the right side when there's a bunch formation or things like that. But for the most part, we're trying to avoid runs that kind of run into more defenders. And we're trying to run towards the side where we have more blockers on this offensive line, whether it's a couple of tackles, guards, or tight ends. So expect more first down runs and more second down runs if it's not going to be a second and long play. But to open conference play, we face the Georgia State Panthers, who are right now 3rd in the conference with that 2-2 record. They've played 1 more game than we have, and their secondary is the best part of this offense, which is why I think it's the perfect time for us to try to run the ball, because they have 3 really good corners in Austin McGee, who picked us off in our last matchup. Sweetwater, same deal. And then Fabian Keith, a redshirt senior, I believe brought in the transfer portal. But this offense returns Neil Costello at quarterback, but he is going to miss this game due to injury. So in comes Ron Kiernan as their sophomore quarterback. On the ground, they'll have Siaki Mulatalo at wide receiver. You've only got 1 big playmaker at an 87 overall, then a 15 overall decrease to their second guy and E.K. Ogden, but the number 1 guy is Brian Punga. He is an impact player on this offense. They also have Captain Russ Cleveland, who's a blocking tight end mainly, so less of a offensive threats vertically. This offensive line is okay, but they're really strong at left guard, but not really elsewhere. And this defensive line, I think, is probably the weakest part of this entire defense. These defensive tackles are not very good. They can't rush the passer. They don't even have great block sheds. So this game right here is the perfect game to run the ball and hopefully just establish us as a more dynamic, more than a one-dimensional football team. So conference football begins on the road at Georgia State for the Bobcats, looking to move to 3-1 on the year through these first 5 weeks and get off to a good start and hopefully become a better offensive team than we have shown in these first 3 games of the season. Kickoff at Center Park Stadium is officially underway as the Bobcats will start with the ball returned out from the 7 by Enrique Cherador, and the offense will have it at the 22 to open this game. Out comes our number 1 tailback, Kiki Newcomb, hoping for a nice balance of play calls his way on the ground. We open in shotgun formation, and Breda will throw. Good protection. His pass is hauled in by Trayon Bell. One goal I also have for this game is to hopefully see some more big passing plays. We kind of had a lack of those the first 3 games compared to how we closed last year, where the offense really hit their stride. So hoping for some bigger, 40, 50-yard plus touchdown plays through the air. And I want to see some big gains on the ground, then that's a pretty good start. Kiki Newcomb picks up 15 yards on his opening carry of the ball game. Want to see more of that here on first down. Another draw goes his way, and it's going to be another 10-plus yard carry. Now we come out empty. Breda fires a strike. That's Roland Hasty with the 6-yard reception. Bobcats already on the fringe of the red zone. Now it's I formation. Newcomb the back. Little halfback dive play. He shrugs off a defender and has his 3rd first down carry on as many attempts. Empty backfield once again for Breda. They bring a 4-man rush. It's picked up well and turning upfield for a touchdown. It's Enrique Cherador. That is about as perfect of an opening drive as you can ask for. Great job. Great start. Panthers have it trailing by a score. Out comes their backup quarterback, Ron Kiernan, and he starts with a handoff to their running back, Mulatalo. It's only a 2-yard pickup. I think so far these first 3 weeks, we have had a very good run defense. We've had a solid pass defense, but especially against the run, we have been absolutely fantastic. Even against Oregon, we played them very well on the ground. And now it's 3rd down for Georgia State. They will fake the handoff, and pressure gets to Kiernan. That's John Decker IV, and the defense will force a 3-and-out. Second drive for the offense starts at the 43. Breda's first pass is caught. There it is. Touchdown, Trayon Bell. 57 yards. We have been waiting for plays like this from the offense, and now we have one already in the first quarter here on the road. Trayon Bell, just his first touchdown of the season, and it comes on a 50-yard bomb. An uphill battle already for the Panthers. It's 14-0 as Kiernan's pass is caught for a gain of 8. They'll fake it, and the pass is knocked away. Maloney, and they're in coverage. And that forces 3rd down and 2. Kiernan will hand it off. Mulatalo is shoved ahead for a Georgia State first down. That's their first of the game. We'll give it again up the middle, and that hole closed quickly. Now a touch pass. This is their tight end, Cleveland, and he's got the first down. Or not, they mark him inches short, and Kiernan's not going to get there on the read option. An unlucky spot from the refs, and the Panthers will once again have to punt. Can the offense make it a 3-score lead already? They will start at the 29-yard line here on their 3rd drive of the quarter. We'll start with play action. Breda fires a strike, but it's knocked away from L.J. Young Jr. Now we come out, empty backfield. Breda has time to throw, lofts it up, and it's intercepted. Nobody there besides a defender. And that is Austin McGee with the interception. Kyle Harper was the target. I'm not sure if this ball was overthrown or if Kyle Harper maybe tripped up somewhere, but Harper was not really near that pass at all. Here's a second look. Let me get a different angle here. Yeah, it looks like I think Harper maybe got nudged by the safety a little bit, and that kind of knocked him off his route. And so that is Breda's 4th interception of the season in as many games. But I think that one's not really his fault. I doubt that gets picked off if Harper is actually near the pass. Screenplay does not work out for Kiernan. And now it's 3rd and 10 from the 50. Kiernan dumps it off, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Panthers will punt. Defense doing a great job so far for the Bobcats, as Breda will start with the throw on this drive. That is Mulligan with the catch. And off up the middle, Newcomb breaks a couple of tackles and picks up 7 yards. Compared to Karan Boyd, Newcomb definitely has a lot more power and strength to his game. Just got to utilize that more here on those kinds of handoffs. Now we fake a touch pass, and Breda can't get the throw off cleanly with pressure coming off the edge. 3rd down from the Panthers 45. And time to throw. 1st down, it's Trayon Bell up to the 34. Gain of 11. Here's a draw, and this time that hole was non-existent. It's a loss of 1 for Newcomb. Going to try it again on 2nd down, and another nice play is made by a defender. 3rd down, we're just within field goal range for Lincoln. And we will pass it. They bring 5, and Breda is taken down in the backfield. A 10-yard sack will end this Bobcats possession. A bit of a lengthy first quarter here. Already 6 total drives played in this game, or in fact, I think more than that actually. As the Panthers take over, they've already punted the ball 3 different times and have yet to get in 2+ territory, really, as the screen is set up for Mulatalo, but it goes nowhere. Now it's 3rd down and 8. Defense looking to once again get off the field early on a possession. 4-man rush, and Kiernan dumps it off, and they're going to have a 1st down. Now a play fake, and Kiernan is sacked by Dorian Combs. The 2nd for the Bobcats. Combs, I believe, has 1 sack in every game so far this year to lead our team. Now 2nd and a long way to go. Delayed draw, and Mulatalo picks up 7 to end the first quarter. 14-0, Bobcats lead. 3rd down to open the quarter, and pressure forces a scramble from Kiernan, who will reach across for a 1st down. Was not aware that he had some speed and some legs on him, but he does, and it keeps the drive going for the Panthers. Now at midfield, a bubble screen setting up, and that is defended very well by Timmy Oki on the tackle. Play action, Kiernan fires an INT. It's picked off by DeMarvin Holland. Man coverage that time, and he was right there with his assignments. That's the first turnover by the Panthers here in this one. Can the offense put more points on the board here, though? Breda takes off on 1st down and has enough to convert. Wide stack formation, and we hand the ball off, and Newcomb cuts the other way, but defenders all over it. It's only a 2-yard run that time. Back to the air, and wide open. It's Reggie Reese, the tight end, for the first down. So we have 2 vertical threat tight ends in Reggie Reese and LaShawn Gray, but I might want to go after a blocking tight end perhaps to help out the run game a little bit on plays where we have, I formation or an extra player on the offensive line like a tight end to just give us that extra blocker, because Gray and Reese have not really been too good in their run blocking in their careers. 3rd and 7. Breda underneath, and Harper is tackled a yard short, and the offense will come off the field. Out comes George Lincoln for a 48-yard field goal attempt to make it a 3-score game. The kick is good. I talked about this last season towards the end of the year, but I do think that if we were to win the conference 3 times in 4 years, or 3 times in a row, which would be this year and next year to complete that 3-game sweep of the conference, I think that if we can do that or make the playoff in back-to-back years, which would be this year and next year as well, I do think that I would probably look to move us to a bigger conference. That would likely be the SEC, especially if we can be a really, impressive competitive playoff team. Or maybe perhaps the ACC, or maybe the Big 10 or Big 12. I'm not really sure exactly what kinds of teams are going to be in those 2 conferences that are going to be in our region of the country, but I think that ACC or SEC makes the most sense for us being in Louisiana, because the ACC has already added SMU and Cal recently, which those 2 teams are not even near the East Coast. So I think those 2 spots make sense for us, as this pass is batted away down the field. So we'll see what happens, but if we dominate this conference in several years, back to back to back, then I think that makes the most sense. The offense will have to punt here, though. A sack right there on 3rd down will force a 4th and long. Panthers get it back at the 21, and Kiernan's pass is hauled in for a first down. I think so far defense has played very well. I think their defense has made some nice plays since those opening 2 drives. And honestly, they kind of surprised me here. I thought we would have more points by now. This is one of the lower-rated teams, I believe, in the Sun Belt at this stage in our dynasty. They're like a 78 overall with a 77 offense and a 79 defense. So, given that and given those numbers, we should be dominating them as we kind of are already. It's 17-0, but I want to see us do some more things offensively and call some more runs approaching halftime, as Kiernan throws it a yard shy of the sticks. We come out 5 wide to open this possession. Breda steps up and delivers a strike into Enrique Cheridor, who had that opening drive touchdown. And that gets Breda, by the way, up to 750 career passes completed. And he still has the rest of this year and probably next year as well, when he's going to be a senior. So he's probably going to have plenty of program records for us by his career's end. It's 3rd down. Panthers showing a blitz, and they will bring 5. Breda knocked away. Under 4 to go here in the first half. It's been a pretty low-scoring second quarter, but Kiernan takes off on 1st and 10 and scrambles for 6. Delayed give, Mulatalo running right, and nothing opens up. 2.2 yards per carry on his first 10. As I said, Our run defense is absolutely fantastic. Here's a good pocket for Kieran, who throws a strike for a first down to his top wide receiver targets. And now that'll get them into Houma territory once again. Latalo quickly hit down by Tevin Hippenhammer that time. 2nd and 9 now, approaching the 2-minute warning. And they're setting up a screen that is complete, but it goes nowhere. No gain on the play. And it's 3rd and 9, needing the 30-yard line for a first down. Kiernan underneath and caught. And the field goal team comes out for the Panthers. This kick comes from about 49 yards away, 50 yards away, and it's wide to the right. And the shutout still stands. Mapanga misses the kick. Now a 2-minute drill for the offense. Can we finish this first half strong and get our first touchdown since the second drive of the game? That pass is caught. It's LJ Young Jr. for a first down. We're going to try and go quick here. Screen setting up. Newcomb's got it. And has a nice, solid 9-yard reception. Now we'll fake the handoff. And Breda slings it, but it's tipped away from Cal Harper. Good downfield coverage so far by the Panthers since that touchdown from Trayon Bell. And now this pass is batted down at the line. And on 4th and 1, we're going to punt the ball away. 1st and 10 for Georgia State. Check down to the tight end Cleveland, and they have to burn their first timeouts. 40 seconds left to go. Looking to take a 17-0 lead into halftime as they fake the handoff, and Kiernan somehow completes the pass, but it's covered well. And now on 3rd down, they need 5 yards. 4-man rush, and this time Kiernan is sacked. It's number 2 for John Decker IV. 24 seconds left to go, and we start in Panthers territory. Play action, and Breda trying to scramble, but that's going to count as a sack for the Panthers. And we have 1 timeout left. That was a 3-yard loss. Got to get to the 35 for a field goal, or just go for a touchdown. It's Trayon Bell again. We finally found the end zone for the first time since his last touchdown over a quarter ago. With 13 seconds left to go in the half, that is how you close a very strong opening 2 quarters of play. Right down the sideline, touchdown. Well, a dominant first half so far for the Bobcats, thanks to our defense especially giving us plenty of chances to drive down the field on our offensive drives, and Trayon Bell having a breakout game for him. 141 and 2 scores here in the first half alone. Defense playing well, holding the Panthers to a shutout so far. The offense has had a couple of really solid touchdown possessions. They will have it to open the second half, trailing by 4 scores as Mulatalo, a nice head of steam. He picks up 8 yards on the opening play of the 3rd quarter. And now a read option. Kiernan keeps it, and we'll have the first. From the 35, read option again. Fools our defense, and Kiernan breaks a tackle, falls forward, and picks up about 13, 14 yards on the run. Another first down for Georgia State. Trying to put their first points on the board. Here's a completion for a first. Now they'll hand it off. And hit down. That is Mulatalo. Play action. Time to throw. Kiernan lofts it to a defender. Intercepted. And returned up to the 17-yard line. Our second turnover forced off this Panthers offense. Both of them INTs off of Ron Kiernan. This INT comes from Jonathan Gatson, our transfer portal pickup safety. The offense takes over, starting with a pass. Hauled in by Roland Hasty, who is going to be playing a lot this year in these wide sets, these fly wide receiver formations. Breda pumps and gives it right back to the Panthers. His second turnover of the ball game as well. This time it's Sweetwater who pulls it down. Last time we faced this team, both McGee and Sweetwater had INTs, and the same is true here in this game, as Breda was looking like his hand was hurt on that throw, but I'm pretty sure he's fine. Just underthrown ball. He lofts that one further up, then Bell probably has it for a big gain or a touchdown perhaps. Instead, the Panthers have it again just outside of the red zone. And now they're in there with the run to Siaki Mulatalo. Second down, they'll fake it. Underneath and caught, but a flag comes in. And this will go against the offense. That backs him up to the red zone fringe as Mulatalo is tackled by Shakir Powell. It's a pretty quiet day for him so far. He usually has a couple of sacks or a couple of turnovers or just good pressure. As this ball is picked for a third time, it's number 2 for DeMarvin Holland, and this time pressure forced that throw. Picked off in the end zone. This defense is a special unit. But can Breda find his stride here? He's had a couple of passes batted down at the line, a couple of INTs, and he's taken a couple of sacks. And I think probably 2 or 3 too many sacks. I think one of those was allowed by the offensive line, but the rest of them have been him trying to extend plays and failing to do so. You lose 3 yards there. Second and long. Screen setting up for Newcomb. And we pick up 11. That was Breda's 100th completed pass on the year already. We hand it off, and a first down for Josh Ringer, our power back that we, of course, added via the portal. Under 5 to play here in the third quarter. And we're going to hand it off on the draw, but it's not blocked well at all by the offensive line. No gain on that handoff. We've had less success since the first quarter on these handoffs. Now another screen, and this time Newcomb cannot get out of the pocket himself. Third down. We need the 44-yard line for a first down. And we're going to have that and some more at the 50. It's LJ Young Jr. Now we'll fake it to Newcomb. Breda steps up and is sacked again. Pressure came off the edge. That was allowed by Damian Green, the right tackle. It's only a loss of 2. Most of their sacks have been less than 5 yards. But still, I think it's too many. We hand it off on second and long, and no holes open up for Newcomb. Third down and long again. Breda dumps it underneath, and we're not even close. From the 31. Georgia State starts with a play fake, and Kiernan trails back, and John Decker has his 3rd sack of the ball game. This defense looking as dominant as ever. This is definitely their best start to a year of the entire dynasty. As the screen for Mulatalo does not really go very far. 3rd and 14, looking for a 3 and outs. Another screen. This time it's intercepted. It's number 3 for Holland. Man, he is having the game of his life. A tunnel screen being set up for one of their wide receivers, and in man coverage, Holland sticks with it, and Kiernan pretty much had to throw this ball, but he undercuts it, and the offense now has a very short field. We got to put the ball in the end zone here. We start empty. They bring a blitz, and Breda gets rid of it to Young. Last play of the quarter, and should have been intercepted. Man, Breda not having his best game. He came in having 3 picks. He's already thrown, what is that, 2 so far? And has nearly had his third. Third quarter's over. No points scored in the quarter. But Breda has, spread the ball out to his targets pretty darn well. We haven't seen much of Cal Harper in this game. It's been the Treon Bell show for the most part. Now it's 1st and goal. Breda steps up and finds Terador for his seconds. Houma finally back in the end zone. And we are about to blow these guys out despite a pretty, up and down performance by the offense. And I will say that because we've had so many of these kind of, dominant defensive games and these blowout wins to start the year, besides the Oregon game, obviously, I am going to, after this week, start to try and incorporate maybe a 2-game episode if we do have one of those games to open those kinds of episodes. I just don't have the time to do that for this one. But going forward, if we blow somebody out, I'll just come into our next game and just try and trim down it to the highlights of whatever blowouts we do end up having. As Kiernan will scramble, he's got a huge gain. Up to the Houma 46. We still have our defensive starters out there on the field, though, as Kiernan lofts it up, and it's caught for a touchdown. Georgia State finally gets on the board. Timmy Oki got beat in press coverage. And the Panthers put their first points on the board. That was a great throw. Third down. Clean pocket, lofted up, double coverage, tipped up, and caught! Treon Bell for number 3. Holy cow. Tipped up by a defender. He got his eyes on the ball, stayed with it, and goes to ground to make the catch. What a play. And that will give us 38 points in the contest. Kiernan lofts it for the end zone. Picked again! Guess who? DeMarvin Holland. A career game for him. 4 interceptions. Absolutely unreal. The Bobcats begin conference play in dominant fashion. A 38-7 road victory against the Georgia State Panthers will move us to 3-1. Treon Bell, player of the game, 3 touchdowns with 190 yards. A big day for our number 1 depth chart receiver. .421 total offensive yards. And we pick off their quarterback 5 times. Great job by our defense. Breda goes 22 for 34, had a couple of costly mistakes, but does throw 5 touchdowns himself, 10.4 average yards per attempt. That's more like it. We had some big plays on the ground. A better day for Newcomb. 3.8 per carry, 4.5 for ringer, but still a bit lower than I would have liked. I want at least, like 5 yards per carry, but that could be a bit too greedy. But that is at least an improvement against our first 3 games of the year. And how about Trayon Bell? A $190, 3 scores, 38 average yards per catch. Cherador had 2 scores. Quiet day for both Hasty and Cal Harper, and for our tight ends. Defensively, though, 4 tackles for loss for Decker, 2.5 sacks apiece for him and Dorian Combs, and 4 INTs for DeMarvin Holland, and 1 from Gatson. This defense is absolutely electric. We hold them to 2.6 per carry. No complaints on that side of the ball at all. And adding to a go-to week, we get our second addition to our class with 4-star left end Nathan Cooks out of Alamo, Tennessee. We also get a big defensive hiccup. Marquise Levitt from Texas, a 4-star corner, has committed to Houma. We also get wide receiver Alex Spangler. Could be a big playmaker for us right out of the gate, just like Cal Harper has been in these first couple of games. So 3 key commits. We're also first place for Eric Jordan, the other 4-star wideouts. But we lose out on a top corner, Morris Rousseau, who ends up choosing Tennessee. We almost had him, but he elects to go to Rocky Top instead. John Decker wins Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Week. And Trayon Bell wins Offensive Player of the Week in the conference as well. A Houma sweep in Week 5. That is how you start conference play. And now we go back home to host the Georgia Southern Golden Eagles in our next game. Or I guess just the Eagles. There's a different team called the Golden Eagles in our conference. But regardless, a really good week for the Bobcats. Get a quick update on recruiting. We have a lot of hours left to spend. And we are probably on track to get Sean Pryor. Same goes for Casey Hadel. We can still target a couple other 4-star players as well. We're going to put in some hours to try and bring in 4-star guard Damon Garbutt here. We'll do 50 to start things out. We do have the highest pipeline tier for him. And then for Eric Jordan, we're still first place, but now Oregon, Washington probably hanging around for a bit. We're going to schedule a visit for our Week 8 game against Troy. Should be a good chance to win that game. And we will do a Coach Prestige for that. We have 60 hours applied so far. We'll keep it there for now and hope that that visit can get us over the hump in a couple of weeks. There's also receiver Calvin Kalmalot, who has offers from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, UAB, and LSU. You might as well do a similar thing and schedule a visit for him. Actually, we can't do the same week because that would be a competitive visit against Eric Jordan. So might want to try ULM in Week 10. And hopefully he does not make a decision until then, because if he does, it'll probably be for a different program. And we'll do a family visit. And then we will try and fill up the hours as best as we can for him. We have 3 holes at safety coming out of this year, so might as well target both Alex McSwain and Devron Bender. Both guys have teams pretty close behind us. We might as well start with McSwain. We can do a visit in Week 8 against Troy, so this is going to be a big week. If we lose this game against Troy, then we're probably not going to get either Eric Jordan or McSwain, so it's a pretty big game. We will do playing time for him because he would come in and probably just be the immediate replacement for Gatson, if I had to guess. Depends if other players step up in the meantime. between now and then. And we will do contact friends and family, or actually we can do a hard sell here. We know what his three motivations are, and that will be the time to get to work, hard sell or pitch, and that will use our final 10 points probably on Bender, just because Texas Tech is pretty hot on our tails here. But we have to face Georgia Southern, who comes in at 4-1, coming off their first loss of the year. That was in conference play. And so far, versus the rest of our conference, where do our stats rank? We have a pretty mediocre offense compared to the rest of these teams, but most teams have played 5 games. We have only played 4, so grain of salt for that. Passing game is actually top 2 regardless of games played, but we have the worst rushing offense compared to any other team, so that still has to improve. We have averaged the second most points per game, only behind Marshall, but they're only 2 and 3. In terms of defense, we have the best defense. Again, we've played less games than most conference teams, but still a really good sign. We have the best pass defense so far and the best rush defense. We have the most sacks, and we have the least points allowed. I think we have the most picks too at 10. So defense looking great. Offense still needs some work, but this last game I think was an improvement. So a good way to close the episode and start conference play. I think we're on track to kind of getting better as the year goes on, and hopefully we can play well against the Eagles here in our next game at home, and I will see y'all there. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and leave your feedback down below. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.